Okay, we are live
You did
with
it.
plenty of glitches here. So, hey guys, I am with Emily Blake. She is a beautiful young woman, as you can see.
Oh,
Emily, welcome to the to the where are we? We're on the page. We're going to stream it other places, but Emily Blake is a makeup artist and stylist, business entrepreneur, and a mom. She loves business and has transformed her vast experience into the Bridal Artist Collective. I saw her participating in the group and I was like, oh, I got to get this girl on live so she can
yeah.
share what she does. Emily is passionate about helping women build a bridal beauty business that is successful, profitable, while considering a real life work balance. We all need that.
Yes.
So, Emily, welcome. And
Thank you.
why don't you tell us how you got started in the industry?
Well, I really started in about 2008, like right after I was done with high school. I hadn't gone to cosmetology school yet, but I was the girl that did all her friends' makeup growing up. I did everybody's makeup and hair for prom. And my mom was a hairdresser. So I just grew up around it and always was interested in it. And then I went to cosmetology school. And I think I graduated in 2010, 2011. And ever since then, I thought I really wanted to do hair coloring and cutting and all of that stuff. I moved to Chicago to pursue it with my best friend. And then I ended up coming back to Ohio. But I started, yeah, over a decade ago now. And through the years, my passion within the industry has altered a bit. And I definitely didn't end up in a salon like I thought I was going to when I was in hair school. Um, but the bridal thing has always been consistent for me. And I used to do it all on my own, hair and makeup, huge bridal parties, burning myself out. And now I have a full team of artists and I really just run the business full time. I don't even do many of the weddings myself anymore. I'll jump in when needed, but I've got a pretty solid team of girls, and over the years it's just kind of transpired. It's like, oh, hey, I need some help on this wedding, can you help? And you kind of start to learn your niche and you just start to grow and you got to bring people on board. So really I've just been focused in bridal makeup and skincare over the years.
Yeah, I love that story because, especially for any of the students that are watching, you can have this hard line plan while you're in school and even education and spend lots of money around that plan. Like, you move to Chicago to do this specific thing and then things shift because that's basically life. And, I've been around the block long enough to know that it never stops shifting and
Yeah.
finding your true passion. And when, you said you burned yourself out, I get that. I burned myself out running a salon. That was not for
Mhm.
me. I had a terrible breakdown. But
Yeah.
I think what's important nowadays is that professionals like us who've been there and we're, in a sense, coaches for others,
Mhm.
we can help people really skip the burnout. We can help them skip losing a lot of money by,
Yes.
opening a business or, moving or whatever. I mean, the journey is educational, but some people don't survive the journey. And
Yeah.
we do hate to see that. So this
Yeah.
idea of, looking to experts like yourself or to myself for maybe just brainstorming or, how did you do it? I want people to know when we're on here, we're not any super duper special people.
Mhm.
We're just people on average like anyone else
Totally. Yeah.
and completely transparent and available to DM, to email, to connect with. And then of course, you have built a program, you have built a business to help people.
Yes.
I love how you say that you are a bridal experience coordinator when you do
Yes.
your marketing.
Mhm.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So that kind of was developed over time. When you start growing your business, and even if it's just you, we're in a very saturated industry overall. No matter where you're at, even small town, like a lot of people go to hair school. And while that's fantastic, if you're really trying to do something where you can do it full time, it's your true career, you really have to figure out what makes you different. And, you could be the best artist on the block, but if you don't know business and you're not running a efficient business where people's perception of you is that you're professional, that you're dependable, all of those things, like it doesn't matter how good your updo skills are or how good your artistry skills are. There's so many things, like we were talking earlier, that go into you getting a 5-star review. It's not just that they look beautiful on their wedding day. How was their communication with you for a year or more? Did you respond in a timely manner? Did you leave them hanging for weeks? I've heard that plenty of times. So, as I started to build my team and, kind of step back from the artistry myself, I'm kind of like thinking, like we really need to set ourselves apart because there's a ton of people surrounding us that do the same thing. And I'm a true believer in community over competition. I think there's enough people, there's enough clients, brides, or whatever it is for everybody, but there's also ideal clients. So who do you want to cater to? Who's your ideal client, and what are they going to be looking for in your business that's going to connect with them? And in my business, I run, like I said, a team full of artists, and we really, I feel, offer an experience from start to finish. The second they inquire on our website, from 30 days after their wedding, we are in touch with them. We are consistent. We are efficient. We are professional. And that goes into the whole having a workflow to run your business, effectively and consistently. So it really is, what kind of experience do you want to offer to your clients, and what do you want to be known for? So that's kind of where that whole bridal experience, because, once a bride books, like they're not just like off our books until we see them in a year. There's other things that had to be communicated before then. And you don't just book the bride and forget about her, because brides will notice that, they will feel that, and they will bring it up in a review about you after their wedding. I promise you that. So you just have to really think, what do you want to offer? What do you want to be known for? What's your niche? And what you kind of, going back to what you were saying, is the beauty of our industry is you can literally cherry pick exactly what you want to do, and you can thrive at it. You become the specialist in that industry or that niche. You want to just do bridal updos? Maybe you love boho styling. Be a boho bridal stylist. You can crank that out and be known for that. That's the beauty. You can really find what you're truly passionate about and make it your full-time career. So
in that journey, which is a beautiful journey, I was listening to a wedding planner podcast recently, and she was saying the same thing. So there's the client journey, and there's all these touch points. Mm-hmm. I heard what she had to say. So what are some of the touch points for you? What really was like, oh, after the wedding? Like, yeah. So what are some of the touch points that are important or that seem to work best?
Mm-hmm. So, after a bride gets married, she really isn't talking to any vendors anymore. But the thing is that bride is going to have bridesmaids. She's going to have best friends that are getting married, family members that are getting married. Even though a bride, technically, what we kind of think of as like a one-time client, but it really doesn't have to be that way. We have brides that come back to get their makeup done for their maternity photo shoots. Even before they get married, they get their makeup for their bachelorette, for their bridal shower. So I think changing our perception as far as a bride's just a one-time client and then I'm done with her, because it's really not like that. And it doesn't have to be. And she could be a fantastic referral source for your business. We've done so many bridesmaids that become brides' weddings because we did their makeup a year or two ago when she was in her friend's wedding. So I feel like that's a key touch point within the whole process, is treating them with respect from the beginning and being consistent and responsive with your communication and just being thorough, like really giving a crap. I mean, there's lots of vendors out there, not just even in hair and makeup, but just in the wedding industry in general, that's just trying to make a quick buck. And that's not why I'm in the business. I mean, obviously that's you have to have that part, but this business can be brutal. So you've got to really love it. And I do. And you've got to take care of your clients, that you cannot treat them like a one-time thing. Got your money, good, see you never. You know, you really got to, especially with hair and makeup, because our services are always needed. You know, it's not like we're the person marrying somebody and then we really never see them again, you know.
The long game, you know,
Mhm.
is what entrepreneurs understand. It's the long game. It's not the quick turnover. And I always felt, you know, it's true that bridal is like, oh, I don't have to keep her. But in our industry, we do. And you just made that perfectly clear with a very valid point.
You know, my team is full of people that just do hair, just do makeup. And then we have dual artists that do hair and makeup. And then I also have a skincare studio. So you also can think about other services. Even if, say you love bridal and you love to do brows, you can offer your other services in the salon or your studio or whatever it is, and have them become a client that way. We've had a huge stream of that. We have one girl that's amazing at color. Like, she's just phenomenal. So we have a discount in our welcome email once a bride books, and she gets an exclusive discount with her. So people can get clients in other ways. So I've had tons of our brides who struggle with like acne or pigmentation that want to clear things up, and they just funnel right into my skincare clinic. So there's so many other avenues too, if you do more than bridal, which is okay if you do.
I just discovered, and I've been searching for like a month or more on Google to find makeup artists near me. And I'm in kind of a rural area of Connecticut. There's a lot of farms and stuff here. And I finally found a young girl. And like you said, she owns a beauty bar. So they do brows, they do skin, they do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just had a wedding Saturday in her studio. And it's amazing to think outside the box. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I need to go learn makeup. I need to invest all this money in my kit. Like, no, you don't. You could go find somebody. You can collab and commute and you know, and even with hair, like
Yeah.
you said, with a colorist or build that team, and they don't all have to be in your payroll and they don't have to be under your roof, you know?
Yeah. And I will tell you what, in my experience personally, you know, we advertise on the Knot. That's the only paid advertising that we do. Other than that, everything is referral, Google, or whatever. But there is no more natural, just like human referral that I get more than fellow artists in my community. So it is so important to network and be friendly and just have open communication with people in your local community, because there's going to be times where you're going to need help. You know, your whole team's booked or you're booked and, you know, somebody gets sick. I mean, there's so many benefits to having that. So, you know, just keeping an open mind and really trying to make an effort to connect with people. I have a pretty steady stream, because she's also I'm thinking of one in particular who's just a makeup artist, you know, she doesn't do hair. So she sends people our way. Or if she's booked, because she books out far in advance, you know, she sends them our way. And that person that was looking into her trust her already. So for it to come from a referral like that, you're much more likely to get the booking.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just got a call this week from a former employee, and she got landed with a big, huge wedding. And the wedding doesn't always take place where people live, right? So the wedding is more closer to me. So she's on the phone, Gretchen, you got to help me with this wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so these relationships never end. I mean, that relationship has got to be 20 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's
Awesome.
cool. It is awesome. Well, why don't you tell me about what you're doing online, like your funnel and things you're doing online, and how people can work with you,
Mm-hmm.
and what you have to offer people in the group.
Yeah. Everything that I know to this day, I've learned the hard way, or I've learned it through experience. You know, there's not a handbook you get in cosmetology school or aesthetic school that says, this is how you run a bridal business. And they're really, at least when I was building mine, not really any like courses or anything like that. So you just kind of like jump into it and you kind of just learn, and it takes years to learn things. It's not like an overnight thing. Right. But, over the years, I've developed what is my workflow, which is literally the foundation to my business, its success, its profitability, everything. And, you develop that over years through trial and error and all of that. In the last few years, through networking and connections, I started working independently, like one-on-one coaching with other bridal artists. I worked with Sarah Delane Brides they're based out of Cleveland, Ohio. They have locations in Miami, Tampa, and Chicago. And then Tanya Crocker, who has an amazing business out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and just other artists those girls have teams, but I've also worked with just solo artists too. And, I realized quickly that one-on-one coaching is not financially achievable really for most people, even myself. I mean, what I would literally have to charge to make it worth my time and also help, it wasn't an option really for most people. And I really truly love helping people. The business side is my passion more than artistry now these days. So I kind of took a step back from that one-on-one and kind of tried to think, how can I reach more artists and help them at a much more affordable price point? So I just took my business and my knowledge online, which is where the Bridal Artist Collective kind of formed from. So I sell my workflow now, which has all my email templates in it. It's literally from inquiry to 30 days post-wedding, every single step that I take in my business. And what's nice is you can use a CRM software, which is like a client relation management software. And you can automate like 75+% of it. So you don't have to type emails from scratch. The amount of time you're going to save emailing back and forth, making sure they get appropriate information at the right time. It's my entire client journey that I've developed over the years. So I have that. And I also sell my bridal service contract that is, I think it's like 10 pages now. And some people hear that and like, what, 10-page contract? Yes. If your contract is not 10 pages or more, you're not protected enough. There are so many things. And the beauty of it is you can have a horrible experience at a wedding, for example. Go into your contract and make a clause in your contract so that you don't ever have to deal with it again. That's a lot of how my contract has been built over the years. Just to give you a quick example, there was one wedding I did years ago. We were getting ready in it wasn't even a church. It was like an outbuilding somewhere, like outside of a church. And it was in the middle of July. There was no air condition. There was not even a fan. Okay. And this bride wanted me to do her hair and makeup. I mean, it's unattainable expectations, right? And that's one thing I talk about in my online stuff is also, it's so important to set the client expectation from the get-go. Before you even speak to them, you should be setting the expectation of many different points. But so I sell my contract. So it protects me, my team, our kit, and the business in general. There are lots of things that should be in there. A one-page contract doesn't cut it, especially this day and age. You need to be protected. Your reputation needs to be protected, and your kit needs to be protected. The workflow is designed for whether you're a seasoned artist or you want to start a business or you're brand new. You can literally take this and implement it into your business the same day that you purchase it.
Is there anything that you want to add that I'm just thinking about, how did you find your people? I run into people who are afraid to take their hands off the pulse. What if someone I hire or someone on my team doesn't do his hair as good as me? So how's it going to reflect on me? Like, how did you bridge that gap?
It's definitely hard. Especially like my company is Brides by Blake. Blake is my middle name. So it also has my name attached to it, because it was just me for years. And it's definitely a whole other thing to get used to for sure. But at some point, it's like, what are your goals? Do you want to do it all yourself for long term, or do you want the flexibility? Especially, I'm a mom now. My daughter's 3.5. So I need a lot more flexibility this day and age than I ever needed when I was in my 20s hustling. You know what I mean? So it depends also, what stage are you at? What are your goals? At some point, you either jump or get off the ledge, because, it's not going to wait around. And you just got to make moves. And
Yeah.
with the, you know, the reputation thing and everything, you know, you start to figure out what are your standards for artistry, and, you know, you dig, you find people, you look at their work, you have them come in, you do trainings. I do trainings depending on like what skill set they're at. I just opened my hiring to students, which I never have before. We're only a licensed artist team, and that's only because of our state. Every state's different. You don't have to have a license to do this a lot of places. So that was like my standard back then, but I'm starting to like open it up now because legally we have that freedom. And so I just hired my first assistant artist, and she's almost done with hair school, and she's already the bomb at updos, you know. So she wants to learn makeup though. So I'm training her in makeup my way. So, you know, it's like, who are you open to having on your team? Is it somebody new so you can train them your way? Or is it a seasoned artist that already has the skills down? And you know, you just have to get to know people. And another thing when it comes to contracts, if you're going to hire a team, you need an independent contractor if that's how you choose to pay them, which is how I do, and most people do in this industry. You need to protect your business and yourself. So you got to have a solid contract when it comes to that as well, so that you are always protected.
Definitely encourage anyone who's listening who wants to move forward. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen like immediately. There's homework, there's communication with either Emilie or myself. There's research, there's who might be a good person on my team. Like, it's actually fun to plan this.
It really
And
is.
I think it is. It's and you know, pro and con list. How busy do I want to be? What kind of money do I want to make? How many people do I want to manage? How far do I want to travel or not travel?
Exactly.
You
And the
know,
beauty of it is you get to decide all of that.
yes,
You know, you are working for yourself. You get to choose everything, your working conditions, what you accept, what your rates are. You know, work smarter, not harder. Eventually, you can get to a point where you don't have to do a wedding every weekend to make your income. You know, there's so many factors that go into it, but the possibilities are truly endless.
definitely. Absolutely. And I think too, once you build that first model, you can replicate it.
Mhm.
And that's the hardest thing to do, is to get that first model under your belt, and then the replicating is easier. And anyone in business
Absolutely.
knows that it's like this and then it goes.
That's
You
so
know,
true. And speaking of replicating, I've always wanted to expand and have additional locations. And I just launched in Charleston, West Virginia, which sounds weird. Like, why Charleston, West Virginia? But there's lots of things that went into that decision. And I've already booked our first wedding there. So, I mean, I literally booked our first wedding within 1 week of the announcement, you know? So, but it's because I feel confident to do that now, because I have the foundation. I can repeat it like that, just like you're saying. I have it solid. I have our processes, our systems, our policies, all of the stuff that goes into running a business. I could do it in my sleep. So you definitely can, you know, take that and use that to expansion, you know? So again, the possibilities are endless. You know, whatever you can dream, you can literally make it happen if you're willing to put the work in.
yeah. Yeah, it's so true. It's exciting. And yeah, when I came back online 3 years ago, I'd been out of the industry 15 years. So I'm like, crap, what the heck is this boho stuff? Like, I had to learn
I know, right?
hairstyle. I had to learn everything. And then
Mhm.
and it's been a journey, and it's been exciting. And what's really exciting is this week I've been emailing with Facebook. So Facebook actually wrote an article on our group, on our updo group.
Oh my gosh, congrats. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, we
Well,
are the
Emilie,
designers of our life. I know it sounds so cheesy, but it's like literally, okay, you want that? Okay, go get it. You can have it. Nobody's telling you can't. You
yeah,
know,
only here.
design your life however you want. It's totally possible.
Well, Emilie, I'm going to let you go. You're a busy woman, and it's been great chatting. And
Yeah,
thanks,
great.
guys, thanks for hanging out, everyone. We will keep in touch.